In this video, I'll show you music producers how to make a full funk song like PASSO BEM SOLTO. You'll see exactly how I handle sound selection, melodies, and song structure to create a track like this. I'm Dogeda, music dog with millions of streams across many platforms, and in this studio session, I'll be breaking it all down for you. So grab your computer, open your DAW, and let's get started.
Yes, sir.
Starting out with the sounds, here are the 9 important sounds that are used in the track. I'll start off with the most important sound. This lead is the PASSO BEM SOLTO lead that I recreated in Serum 2. I basically took 3 oscillators, 2 of them are custom wavetables I've designed, add a bit of white noise, filter, and adjust the envelope a bit. Add some effects like DOD2, chorus, bode, and OTT. The second sound is just a modification of the first sound but with different wavetables. The same thing is applied to the third lead. Now I added this string and another string to layer it. One I'm using swarm violins, while the other I'm using contact. Now for the bass, I reused the PASSO BEM SOLTO lead, but I run it through some roar to give it more distortion to the sound. A bass one-shot sample from my viral funk production suite. Again, running it through some effects like EQ, overdrive, Pro G, decapitator, OTT, and clipping it all at the end. Then I added a Reese bass, and of course the sub bass using operator. I know sound design can be complex and confusing, so I created the Viral Funk Production Suite. It contains 12 complete sample packs that cover all the sounds you need to make viral funk. So if you're a music producer that doesn't want to waste time sound designing or browsing through sounds you don't have, start leveling up your song by going to dogedastudio.com. Link in description. Before I go over my track, I'll be breaking down the chord progression. Here's the chord progression of PASSO BEM SOLTO slowed version. The key of the song is in B minor. Looking at this chord progression, the song has an Aeolian cadence. The song starts with a submedian chord, G major, to the subtonic chord, A major, which then resolves to the tonic chord, B minor. This gives the quality of the chord a sort of melancholy and dark feel. There's no leading tone because that would imply the 7th chord would be a diminish, which would then have a stronger resolution to the 1 chord. However, since 7 is a major chord instead, it resolves but it feels unresolved. This allows the song to loop very well. Another thing to point out is the original song doesn't use chords but rather the melody and bass. Now I'm going to break down my song Mata Gen Fuego. My song is in the key of C sharp minor, and this is not a cadence at all. Rather, it's a diatonic descending sequence. What makes a cadence usually requires the chord progression to resolve on 1, 5, or 4. However, my song ends on a minor 5 rather than a major 5. So it makes the entire progression unresolved, giving it that loop feel, which is what I was aiming for. All chords are diatonic, moving across the C sharp minor scale. If you music producers are finding this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more breakdown videos like this. Here's a short section of my song Mata Gen Fuego. Listen very carefully how I utilize the sounds in theory for this track. So I start with a simple down to the floor kick. Then I layer these 2 kicks to create emphasis on the beat, and this tom kick which accents the beat of the drum pattern. Then I added the percussions doing the Brazilian drum beat pattern, which are in blue. Then extra percussive fills across the beat in purple. Then I have cymbals playing in the background. And some sound effects. This is the drum beat isolated. Now we start with the bass. Then it's layered by the one-shot bass, Reese, and sub. Then we have the string section. These are violins and cellos panned left and right, playing separate parts, but they add width to the track. And of course the string runs. And the iconic lead sounds layered with 2 synths. And here's the beat. Now I'll go over my entire song Mata Gen Fuego. There are 12 sections in this song, so you don't want to miss this. So starting off with the intro, the vocal starts and the bass plays under it.
fire, soy el fuego, fuego, soy el fuego, I'm the fire.
Then the chorus drops. I'm going to take a little pause here and go back to the intro to show you producers why there is a complex bass here. So the complex bass is basically the entire bass group run through an effect called Portal. And from there I rendered audio and chopped it up within this group and rendered it all in one audio track. I basically put it as like a background sound effect. Like muting it in the track doesn't ruin the song, but when you add it, it just adds some sort of texture that glues the track together. And I added this woo. Now we're in the verse, and the female vocalist takes the lead. The harmony vocals add along with the main vocal. Now the pre-chorus comes in. I'm going to take a little pause here because I want to go over this ambient sound. It's basically the strings run through a plugin called EFX Motions. Now chorus 2, which is basically the same as chorus 1, but a bit longer. I did add some harmonies like this one, and then that one. Now the drop. I'm going to take another pause and go over certain groups. This is where the ad-libs come in, and I just put a bunch of them to give the drop some excitement. Also, there's this vocal synth that plays in the melody. One plays higher up, another plays lower, and I have this vocal fill doing this panning effect. Now we are at the bridge. So I'm going to pause again and go over some sounds. So the bridge starts with this angry respace, where I automate the warp position to create this rigidy sound. I have these two custom one-shot sound that I made, and this ARP effect, one using Contact, another using Omnisphere. Now you might hear this riser effect that's happening in this bridge. How I'm doing it is that I created this riser effect using a macro, and the effects that I use is a grain delay, reverb, OTT, and the EQ that cuts off the low end. Now the solo section. I'm going to take a pause here because it's my favorite section. So the solo lead is a custom instrument that I've designed, and this is the solo lead isolated. I then layered it with Omnisphere 3 playing an octave below. It's just there to add some low end to the solo. I then changed the bass part with these distorted bass sounds I use using Serum. There are 4 layers to give it a lot of depth, and this funk powered chord synth. Now chorus 3 has all the elements from different sections of the song. The solo comes in, then this bit lead thing. And yeah, that's it. Again, all the sounds come straight from my Viral Funk production suite. No need to sound design or browse through thousands of folders to find one sound. Start leveling up your song by going to dogedastudio.com. You can listen to the full song Matagen Fuego by clicking this video here, or if you want to know how to make Viral Funk, click on this video right here.